As you're driving your truck, have you ever thought about when you might apply for your next job? And you think about what affects my ability to get my next job? Now, don't get me wrong. I hope you're happy where you're at. I hope you stay driving for the company you are. But let me run you across a new screening tool that companies are using and what you can do to increase your odds of being a more preferable candidate in your next job search. There's a new tool that motor carrier companies such as yours are using. It's called PSP. It stands for Pre-Employment Screening Program, and here's how it works. Every time you as a driver get stopped for a roadside inspection, each violation that is detected and documented is now attached to your name. There's a federal database that companies can use. It's called data mining. They can look at to see what points were assessed to you, what defects, whether it be bad tires, logbook not current, fire extinguisher not secured, things of those nature. And as you can imagine, they're looking for the candidates that have the lowest defect and crash data when they're looking for their next driver. A PSP record contains a driver's most recent 5 years of crash data and the most recent 3 years of roadside inspection data. So again, why does this matter to you? Because if a company has 2 drivers under consideration for employment, but they only have 1 position available, many times the final determining factor is the driver who has the least crashes and or the least defects on their PSP record. You want that guy or gal to be you. So even if you don't get a ticket during your roadside inspection, it's in your best interest to keep these violations to a minimum. So when it comes to PSP records and low defect counts, what can you do as a practical matter to keep these defect counts low rather? First thing you can do is slow down and follow all traffic laws, because if you run a stop sign or you're speeding, many times that may be what initiates the roadside inspection. And you've already got 1 count against you when you get stopped because they stopped you for a reason. You either were speeding, didn't yield safely, or failed to stop at a stop sign, something of that nature. So follow the local traffic laws. Number 2, perform a good and thorough pre- and post-trip inspection. You will detect a lot of defects doing that, and you can get those repaired before you get stopped. If you find a defect during those inspections, make sure you get it fixed as soon as possible. Number 3, keep your logbook current. For whatever reason, a lot of drivers like to delay keeping their logbook current. I think it's probably that they can compress their hours at the end of the day. That another subject for another date is the ELDs, which is coming, which will probably solve a lot of those issues. But while you're filling out the paper logbook, make sure you keep it current to your last change of duty status. When you get stopped, if the officer tells you to get your logbook current and you have to go up and down, repeated times from the different duty statuses. Obviously, your logbook wasn't current to the last change of duty status. That leads me to addressing one of the major myths that have been around as long as I've been in DOT enforcement. And that myth is that you have 15 minutes to get your logbook current. You won't find that in state law. You won't find it in the Code of Federal Regulations. You won't find it in the Federal Register. You won't find that anywhere because it's not true. What you do have to do is keep it current to the last change of duty status. And again, your last mark when he asks you, he or she, the officer, asks you to get it current, should be 1 horizontal line in the driving section. That is when the logbook was current to the last change of duty status. Back to my main point, you want to keep your logbook current so that you don't get cited for that during a roadside inspection, which keeps your defect count lower on your PSP record. Number 4, wear your seatbelt. Wear it all the time. It's kind of like a bulletproof vest. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. You don't know when that crash is going to happen, so make sure you wear your seatbelt at all times. Not to mention, it's just another defect that could be cited against you if you don't have it on. Not to mention, it's probably your company policy. Number 4, here's the one real practical matter that you can do. Do another walk around when you are driving on a road where you know there's a DOT inspection facility. If you know that you're going to be going past there, stop at the town before, check all your lights, ensure your fire extinguisher is charged and secured, make sure your logbook's current, make sure you can find your medical card, check all your lights again, kick your tires. You could probably do that in a matter of 5 or 10 minutes, and it drastically reduces your chances of getting cited for a defect or an out of service. I'll give you a quick example. Many times on your trailers, your pigtail comes undone from making a sharp corner or a sharp turn, and you could simply plug that back in and you might have saved yourself about 12 defects and about 3 out of services. So just do a quick walk around before you're going to go past a roadside inspection facility. So if you do all the previous suggestions, you've also enhanced your safety, and here at DOT Compliance Specialists, we're not just about making you compliant. We're not just trying to keep you out of trouble with the eyes of the federal DOT or the roadside inspections. We want you to return home safely each day to your loved ones, and it helps you be a more profitable company. So do all those previous suggestions. It'll save you money, it'll save you time, it'll avoid breakdowns. So what steps are you going to take to decrease your defect or violation count during your next roadside inspection? Ask yourself that, have a plan, and then make a progressively safer action that you're going to put into action. Okay, it's time for a review of this session. You can request a quiz provided to your safety administrator to review the content that we discussed during this session. Until next time, slow down, inspect your vehicles, and drive safely. I'm Travis for DOT Compliance Specialists. I'll see you next time.